Mr. Beard here with your class recap for Monday, November 14th. We began today with our daily language lesson. And here it is. So you'll want to make sure you have a piece of paper and write these two down. You can write them down right here off of this screen, or you can find them on our class website, which I'll show you how to do here in a second. You want to make any corrections you see that are necessary to make this sentence not only grammatically correct, but to flow in the most logical and cohesive manner. Try to do it without changing the structure of the sentence. For example, keep the subject and the predicate. Try not to move around any prepositional phrases. And do not add or take away any key components of the sentence. From our class website, you can always find our daily language here under class notes. If you see here, it's actually embedded on the page, and it will be updated daily. Now, the sentence is here, so you want to write down, not this sentence, you want to write down the corrected sentence with the title November 14th above it, and keep that in your binder as it will be updated daily. Again, make sure you write down the corrected sentence, not this grammatically incorrect sentence. After we did our daily language, we moved on to our Unit 11 vocabulary, which we'll quickly go through here. Our first word is hypothetical. Look at the root here. You may recognize it from the word hypothesis, which is a supposition or proposed explanation based on limited evidence. A hypothetical is very similar. A hypothetical question, for example, is a question based on little evidence. Hypothetical means based on an assumption or guess using the evidence at hand. We connect this to a hypothesis, which is here, this example of a scientific hypothesis. And we gave two examples of hypothetical questions, kind of funny examples. Velociraptor here. What if there were no hypothetical questions? Which, of course, is itself a hypothetical question. It's a pun. Not necessarily funny, but a pun nonetheless. Next word is ignoble. It's the opposite of noble. It means low or base. Here's a sentence example. This guy has his toupee fly off, and then the ignoble chase down the sidewalk. Not a whole lot of things are more ignoble than chasing your toupee down the sidewalk. We then looked at an animal example. Of course, perhaps the most ignoble of all animals in the animal kingdom is the flea, competed only by the tick. Next word, impugn. Impugn means to call into question or attack as false. There's an example here from a popular BBC show. Next move is intemperate. I said move because we, of course, always think of the temperance movement in the 19th century to get rid of all alcohol. That is temperance. Here's some temperance ladies. Their famous saying, "Lips that touch liquor shall not touch ours." Kind of serious looking ladies, aren't they? The opposite of temperance is intemperance. This lack of self-control, immoderate. Example of immoderation here is people paying for their dogs to get their fingernails colored. This really happens, believe it or not. Or food seems to be a common intemperance movement. Next one, odium. Hatred, contempt. Sounds like ogre. Ogres are usually hateful. Not necessarily Shrek, but most ogres. Perfidy, faithlessness, treachery. Example of a faithless relationship might be Kim and Chris. Relegate. Notice the keyword gate here. Gate is closed. To banish. Gate is closed. Squeamish. Sounds like Squirm, which is a horror movie in the 80s. Subservient. Serving in a capacity. Serving capacity. Susceptible. Open to, easily influenced. Do not suspect the obvious. The last thing we did today in class was lit circles. Remember, the first page of your lit circle packet is due tomorrow. And that covers what we did today in class on Monday, November 14th. Thanks.